25, I'll have a husband. And then by 30,
You can imagine the woman. Even though I apologize,
Welcome back to Unfiltered Tribe Podcast with me, Latifa.
And me, Linda.
And we have a special guest today. She's going to introduce herself.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. My name is Sophie Lulu. And for this podcast, I am a mom. And so many other things.
We're all moms.
Sophie Lulu, that's a nice name. So like, those are both of your names. Like Sophie is the first one, then Lulu is the middle name.
Yes.
So there's no surname there. Oh, perfect. Sophie Lulu.
Yeah.
So our topic today is
African parenting. So today is gonna be about how we grew up because we're all African.
We've been raised by African parents. I would like to believe so.
Yes.
Sophie Lulu.
Right.
It's in the name.
Lulu. I'm talking to assume.
I don't know. That's true.
So they have to know.
So it's about how we were raised and as parents as well, like what things we want to do away with, what things we want to keep and retain and carry into our now journey as parents.
Yes.
So yes, that's really about it. Yeah. So stay tuned as we starting like that.
No, but I think personally I come from a very, I wouldn't say a very big family because I've met people with big families, but we were many. So we are 5 girls and 1 boy.
6.
Yep.
Wow.
So the boy is the last born. And I think, Nasisi, Mimi being the second born, I don't know, there's just, the first kids are the guinea pigs. They're the ones.
We talked about that in the dad podcast.
The guinea pig, because me and Linda both first kids.
Yeah. So sisi ndio mnafunzwa parenting. You learn parenting through us. They learn parenting through us. So I think things were definitely different, and there was definitely the fear of them raising girls. I don't know. I think now that I'm a parent, I have a better understanding of what they were going through. But then again, bado kulikuwa na zile za ulikuwa unaangalia vitu zingine unajiuliza hebu ngoja, was this necessary? You know. But Mimi, I think for me, as a Mimi, naturally, I'm a very Niko everywhere. So I think they had the need of kutukazia. Anyone at my age mwenye yako anakazia by then tulikuwa tunamuita cool kid. Because what do you mean?
What do you mean utakaziwa? Curfew ni lazima in every household.
Kwa hiyo watu walikuwa wanaona wazazi wangu, they're like, jifiche bro, uko nje.
Gosh.
Because unaenda now si tumepigwa.
That was me too. Right? Like I remember we kwanza in high school I used to have like a 5 p.m. curfew.
Yeah.
Wherever you're going, staki kujua bora you're in the house by 5. Ikienda ikapanda into like 6.
Yeah.
And at some point you're very rebellious. Kuchapwa, tulichapwa. And that extended even into even having male friends.
Right.
Yeah. Where?
Right.
I don't know if I can say this, but yani, there was a certain boy, I hope Maliuko haikoi okay. Alipigwa for coming.
African parents having friends of a different gender is such a big
deal. And you know what's funny?
Like, think of the worst.
You're gonna like get go pregnant. And have sex and get pregnant. Like that's their biggest. You know.
And
that guy was actually a friend. Nile mmepatana ile kurudi my dad anamngoja hapo kwa gate. Ako when una remove like it was a big. I can't even say all the details. Like una remove msichana but oh my god. So everyone alikuwa najua you cannot talk to Linda. Like Linda babake atakumaliza like and I think he wanted that like and it's funny because I went to a mixed school. Like I transferred from an all girls school to a mixed school. And nilikuwa nashanga why isn't that a problem because SDA and SDAs were like lazima you study together so those like a reason behind it but that's crazy. Hata sisi ilikuwa hiyo.
So are you going to bring that with your kids? Like are you going to freak out if you see your son with a girl hanging out with a girl? Is it going to
freak out like that? I mean, I will not freak out like that.
Because he's a boy or just cause?
No. Even like I think for me, I'd prefer to have a relationship yenye hata ananiambia before I end up finding them outside, either doing whatever. You know, like I'd love to have that relationship yenye hata ananiambia, Mom, there's this girl I like. I hope. I don't know if that's a good thing, but I feel like it's better to know rather than to now freak out and be like, especially now for a girl. I don't know. Like I'd love to know her journey vizuri and really like not scare her or anything but just be in the know and not overreact because from hapo it was like I'm not dating until
until you move out
until I move out na hiyo 30 ilikuwa huko 30 ndio I can say hi to another
because I remember even when I started dating and then some men like maybe their background is different, beliefs is different, they're different from a different culture. So they'll introduce me to their parents and they'll be like, when am I meeting your parents? I'm like, you're not meeting my parents unless you're coming to ask for my hand in marriage.
That was me too. Like,
our culture is what do you mean? Can you imagine when I come and introduce two guys in your
parents? Boyfriend,
you know?
In what house?
Like, what are you guys doing?
What are you? And you, how so when you're strict?
I don't know. But I honestly don't remember having guy friends. But I think it's also because we were raised with that mentality. Like, you're with boyfriends, what are you guys doing? You know? So, of course, growing up with that mentality, tulikuwa na hiyo, I think nisha learn by now, the minute you tell a kid no to something, that's what they're going to do. So sisi tuli-insistiwa na a lot of no boys, no kutoka nini
ndo unatafuta ndio naenda
I still have a skirt till today by the funny enough I don't say one here my sister covered for me
kuruka gate
unasema kuruka gate tulikuwa tumekimbizana na boys. Maybe I used to play I used to play with boys. For some reason, I used to play with either people who are older than me or boys. So one day, ati vijana wajifanya vile wako kwa nyumba wanacheza PS. And I'm like, we want to play. And then you guys are pretending you want to play PS. Tuko tunaenda tukiring my belts. Tuna hip ring my belts. Tukakuwa kwa tunaona, okay, I'm talking. So my big sister is like, ako kwa kona, Sophie, kuja, nitakusema. I'm like, what? Lakini sister yangu na kunisetia meni. Where Banis?
First born.
Hey, kunisetia meni seti si ati ni. But that day for some reason she did not. So tumeenda kutoa vijana kwa nyumba hawatoki, tumeenda kuwachokoza hawataki kuchokoza because we want to play. Kidogo nikawa wakaambiana. So all of them vile tu tumefika hivi kwa mlango wakata hizo nini zao chini wakaanza kutukimisha. Mimi huona gate ikanipitisha hapa. Inabidi umekaa ngumu because I had to lie ati tulikuwa tunacheza kati kwa nyumba.
Oh my gosh. Huko mivyo vyote.
I think that's what my folks think.
Until now. Press out.
Gosh. Buildings like from second floor unaruka chini. Unajifanya vile usikii kitu. And then kidogo but my guy friends were really cool. Because they would see my folks and they're like, bro, hey pa. And luckily we used to play somewhere close to the house. So wakiona my folks wananiambia kimbia. And I just go and I change and I just relax.
Guy, I remember doing that a lot. Like you're out na una make sure umeingia like 4:55 by your 5 umekaa nika you've been in the house all day.
Oh my god. But then again I think the deeper perspective about it is, why were we raised with so much fear? Because there's a difference between raising someone with respect and with fear, you know?
Yeah,
because
definitely.
you'd think about just being caught outside. Ile kiboko unataka kuwekelewa
kila masaa when you want to do something you think
you
about
think
the
about it,
consequences.
and you're like, no. And you know, there's like a thin line of like, was that good for us? Is that why we turned out the way we did? Ama like, is that fear bad? You know,
I think it's bad in the perspective where we cannot be free and open with our parents. We could not be free and open with them.
No, we couldn't.
Like, because consequences again. Because unaweza decide, oh, let me be free and open.
And say I have a boyfriend.
And they don't even talk. Sometimes they just throw something at you, you know. That's how they used to be. Because me, I remember with my mom. And I know my mom is watching this.
They never miss.
And I think, I don't know if she remembers, but sometimes if we did a mistake in the house, after kitu ambeko karibu na so sometimes you can't be like free to that extent because kuna ile consequences, you know. Our watu wako like sijui nisemeje, like wako rigid in a way, like they're really wako na hizi beliefs zao na wamezishikilia na that's what they believe, that's what they want to go through, like even though wao ni wazazi and you're supposed to respect and fear them as parents,
like I'm a parent to the child, and it ends at that.
And
kama squeeze watu wanaanza kusema ati I'm my best friend's child,
naona vile hata mimi nimetoka kusema
wale walikuwa wana hiyo story ya
what's that line, like what's that line, like how do we like have that that boundary, because like to say sorry to even like bring this up, like the Utumishi girls story, like we're saying we won't like blame the parents in any sort of way, you know. Then how do you have like mtoto asifike hiyo point yenye anaweza fanya kitu extreme na bado aweze kuji-express in a way that's like healthy yenye hata kuwa na like your fear, like what's that?
For me, I think it's communication. Because until now, my kid is like 5 years old, and the number one thing that I always do with him is communicate.
Right.
Communicate. Now, nime notice it's working in the sense that just a few days ago, he was playing outside with a kid. He did something bad. He like insulted that kid. And he himself came and told me.
Oh, that's nice.
Before that kid comes. He was like, Mama, I did something bad. And I'm like, what did you do? And then he told me, I insulted this. And then I was like, oh my gosh, it's really working.
That's growth.
Because I would never go to my mom and
report
my
yourself.
dad and report myself. Nitaongea huko nje na huyo mtoto. Akikataa, that's it. Tangoja tu kupigwa. But the fact that he came and told me, Mama, I did something wrong, and he knows it's something wrong. And I even asked him, why did you do it? It's like, it just happened. And I understand sometimes, you know, you're playing,
angry,
you get into like your emotions, and he's just 5 years old, you know. And I just appreciate the fact that he came to me and told me like he did something. So I was like, okay, I'm doing something. But that means communication is really working. Sometimes you think the kids are too young, but they do understand. Like sit with your child, talk to them. Like I sit with my child, I go out lunch with my child, like we do like a mother-son date. We do them all the time, and those are the time that mutakanae, and he will really tell you about the class, what's happening, tell you about his friends, tell you who he doesn't like, who he likes, what he doesn't like. You really pick up stuff. I feel like communication, and I feel like that's something that our parents didn't do with us a lot. Like they didn't sit with us and communicate.
Just kuchapa kwanza.
They didn't want to understand why you did what you did. They just chapa you, and then that's it.
Unaambiwa nachapa makosa. Si hata wewe na
si wewe ni makosa. Which is like insane.
There's this clip I was seeing on IG for Denzel. It's funny. I think all parents, not even African parents, did this. He was acting, I think, in an African perspective, and I remember him telling the son, "Have you eaten? Yes. Are you clothed? Yes. Are you? You know, I have provided, and that is my work as a parent." And I think that is what our parents believed parenting is like,
especially dads.
Oh my.
They wouldn't. They cannot understand why you are misbehaving when I've provided everything.
Like umelak nini?
Kwa nini una misbehave?
As if kuna mtu mwingine atanifanyia hizi vitu that like nani mwingine ananitoa. You got me. But it's actually more. Inakuwa held to like a gun to your head.
I know.
una fail shule ni nini umekosa?
Una fail shule na nimelipa school fees. You paying school fees
that's
has nothing to do with my performance. It's not a guarantee.
Gosh. Nikakupeleka shule ya kunyoa nywele. Like, what is hair got to do with me passing or failing?
No.
Guy.
Nothing.
Crazy.
It's crazy, yeah. But I think to also answer your question on the Utumishi girls, Nini, kids from, let's say 13 and above, they have a brain of their own. I'm not saying these young ones don't, but it's at that point they're struggling with a lot of self-recognition.
That's when puberty and stuff.
That's so when for a girl maybe the boobies are coming out and maybe they're telling themselves they're not enough. That's when they're listening to their friends more than they're listening to their parents. So in as much as yes, we want to use that as an example for maybe where we can go right or wrong. Hey, teenagers are crazy, man.
It's true. Because I'm thinking, because yes, communication might work. Does it mean like maybe our parents, because maybe we don't have the recollection of sisi tukiwa wadogo, maybe our parents did talk to us. Right. Then inafika a certain age, inafika a certain age and your communication does not work. Maybe like ikaenda to like beating, like sasa, when imekuongelesha hauski and then imefika mali sasa ni ehe.
But then again, also remember the communication.
Do you beat your child?
I mean, sometimes ikibidi nile sahi kwa siye atanigonga back kama nikiambia chapa yeye pia anasema chapa. He's still young. He's very I was like, Mrs. Kwasi, exactly. Like that is my boy.
I told my son he was slapping me and then I told him, stop slapping me or I will slap you. And then I will slap you. Not having to kusema vizuri because it's 2 years. So it's like, I will slap you. I was like, that's young.
He's
young. But then with my 5-year-old, he knows. Like, Mama only speaks 3 times. When namwambia nakuongelesha like 3 times, I'm giving you a chance. You should appreciate. You have like an African mom giving you a chance to rectify. Miss Cooper had 3 chances.
Right?
Like, I told you one
sentence hakuna.
Kunaonekana umefanya.
And then unachapwa and then uko like, what did I do?
Before
you makosa yako. So now you have to
figure it out.
It's like, oh shit, this is what I did. I'm not supposed to do this, I guess.
Oh my gosh. Like that happened like, to me and my sibling. Aki gosh. Trauma. So for us in our household, like on Friday, where it's days, so on Friday, 6 ikifika, you don't watch anything until the next day 6, unless it's like worship. Like that was how tungepika chapati kwa Saturday atupiki. So my dad ameka, I think, either worship ama like a CNN. My brother akakuja akachange akaeka this telenovelas of the times. Me, I was cooking, so I had no idea ati ameka. So my dad ametoka nje, anakuja anapata hii imewekwa. First things first, ana assume ni nani ameweka, ni mimi. Mimi nimetoka, nilikuwa nachukua something from the living room to go to the kitchen, nasikia belt. Hata sijaulizwa, unasikia tu pa.
You're like, what did I do?
So kisema hiyo, what did I do? I'm like, alafu ndo baadaye, alafu ndo ana question. My brother ashajificha, anajua nini amefanya after amesikia hiyo nini. So ndo kwanza ku-explain. Hata ukisema pole baadaye, like, not your pole was like,
yeah, because you could have just asked, it's like you couldn't even ask them questions. I remember my dad sometimes would be like, get dressed, we're leaving, we're going out. You can't even ask him where you're going. Imagine. It's like a bit. It's like a bit. I'm like, no, I just wanted to know.
It's funny how we didn't appreciate that from our folks, but right now we are looking towards having men who will tell us, get dressed.
Oh my gosh.
No questions asked.
Get dressed by 8. Don't ask me. I don't want to know.
How to dress, I will be there.
Babaka akikwambia.
Like, no, I want to know where I'm going.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Gosh, but parenting. You're talking about that boundary.
No, but I was also saying, even because actually kuna kitu umesema, like, maybe we did not remember our earlier ages.
Like 3 and below.
How are we? Definitely. 3 and below, we don't remember. But I think I would remember, like, even the communication styles were very poor.
Very.
Because it was always, they would use such heavy words. Unabaki umejiuliza ngoja. Wait. Hata ungenipiga tu. Ungenipiga tu story.
This was the worst.
Communication was worse.
Communication was bad. I I don't know if the first time my folks found out. I don't know if that is when they realized, because I lied, and that was the first time they found out I was. I think it was actually the first time I had used P2, and now my mother found it. And that
you know,
and you're still alive.
But now that day, you are after that talk, I was like, what was this, bro? I think she found it, and then I don't know how long she stayed with that conversation first, and then now we were called outside, and that was now apparently the sex talk.
Yeah.
I was probably 18, if not 17, if not 17, somewhere there. And I told her it was for a friend. And she was like, okay. So tukaitwa hapo nje, tukakalishwa, me, my big sister, and both my folks. And whatever the words that were used, bro, like, the words I honestly remember till date was, mimi, now this was my father, he was like, mimi staki malaya kwa nyumba yangu.
Guy.
I was like, nipige tu, because what do you mean? You know, I mean, the first time I had those heavy words were from them.
A parent.
You know,
like, unajua kuna mwanaume random akikuita and
there's that, because maybe if a random man would have called me that, hata tungepigana vibaya. But coming from your
mzazi, nawezi ongea so you cannot hear. Uko hivi.
You know, uko like,
Unatoa malaya.
Mimi nilikuwa naongeleshwa na hivi kwanza. I was so rebellious.
Meaning get sharp.
But now it was I was like, why would you say that? Now that's their way of now that was their sex talk apparently. Or may decide
okay, so now I have a question. Now you got pregnant and go on.
that I was going even coming to that. I think that's the day they actually threatened us, because my father was like, if any of you ever come to this house with a child or pregnant, I don't know if I'll be sued for saying this. He was like, I will cut that child out of that stomach. I think he was just stomach. He was just tired. He was just, you know.
I am not shocked. Like, I am not like I am.
He was, but then as for an African parent,
that's the thing. They try to
scare you. Ile hata unafikiria sex uko. My stomach will be cut.
Exactly.
You don't even know the proper consequence. Unaogopa mzazi kuliko the pregnancy itself. Like,
you know,
instead of them talking to you and telling you like the pros and cons of
use
having
protection.
early pregnancies or nini, anakwambia atakata mtoto.
And that was
you come with like in that tone, and I was like, wow, okay. By then we'll talk about your scarred.
Of course.
Yeah. That would explain why my big sister is child free. But
did he work on you?
Alisema alikuwa naambiwa no. Second born.
Kimaliza kuongea unishow. Because bado nitapigwa. You know, by the time it was so, I think I've just been hardened by the
thing na kupigwa pia. There's a time because nishakuwa hata mimi vibaya and I didn't cry. Like nilichelewa kufika, curfew was 5 nikafika 6. House help akanisema, of course my dad hajui because yeye ameingia saa 2. So anapewa report. Nakwambia ushaichapwa until like no tears, no nothing. Unakuja kusikia uchungu the next day umefura sijui wapi uwezi kaa. Like hiyo ni kukua hardened ile yenye.
Alafu pia ulikuwa unakosa kulia na unani disrespect.
Hivyo sana kuongeza. Alafu ukilia unaanza tena. So nifanye nini? Ukizuia unachapwa pia hapo kwa hiyo.
Unazuia mama ananiambia okay.
Baki hivyo nipige kila pali.
Niwe basi.
Nimalize. So, umekuwa hardened huko.
What? I think they were preparing me for being a boy mom. Swear to God. Because what? Mimi nasaidia mwezi nishtua. Why? Mwezi nishtua.
So how did they take it when you told them that you're pregnant? Since ulikuwa umeshaku
umekuwa scared ukasema hiyo ndo nawaletea.
Let me tell you, when I found out I was pregnant, it took me 4 or 5 weeks to tell them. Yeah. I didn't tell anybody except my baby daddy.
And at that time, were you still living with your parents?
I was at home. I was 19.
You were 19. Yeah.
Niko shule kwanza. So every day I'm waking up, I'm going to school. Naenda shule narudi. I know I'm pregnant. So I had found out, like, kwanza makosa ilikuwa, at that point, I was very hormonal. So I was getting very many, like, napata, like, my periods twice a month. So I would go to Hosi, a very famous hospital in Rongai your time. So unaenda mara kwanza, I think they just told me I have I can't even remember. I just remember the last one because I had gone so many times, yeah. So the last one, the doc told me there's a chance, but you see at that time I'm 19. I'm hearing my own things. So yeah, alisema this could be.
So this is not what the doctor said, guys. This is
no, right now. This is this is what the doctor said. Okay. I will explain what I had. The doctor said hormonal imbalances could also be an effect of cervical cancer, right? Yeah, which could also lead to infertility, right?
Yeah.
What did I hear?
If I don't get pregnant,
me, I had. You have cervical cancer, you're infertile, which means... So,
there's no way.
There's no way I'm getting pregnant. Exactly. Which means...
You can have...
The condoms I was using... You
can go raw.
Because I'm infertile.
That's what I had by then.
Oh my goodness.
And you know, you just saying that just shows how people are more afraid of pregnancies than sexual diseases.
Right?
Oh my gosh, because
how kama kuna sexual diseases?
Umesahau condom.
Umesahau kama kuna like
na condom ina prevent to pregnancy.
Kuna ile video kila mtu alionyesha when we were like after class 8.
HIV.
Yeah, everyone was shown that video. But at that point, it was not even coming to mind. So, mi nimejua, mi niko infertile. All right. At that time, I was with my boyfriend was my baby daddy was my boyfriend at the time. So, I'm like, good.
So, ukambia baby daddy and your sherehe au kumwambia
I didn't tell him. Because, wanaume. But I didn't tell him. But I just disregarded it completely. Right? So, I found out now I was pregnant. Now, from the same doctor who tells me that I am infertile. Of course, I'm 19, meaning it's infertile. So the same doctor now, I'm like, bro, chill. See, January 2 meniambia niko infertile. What the?
Is this?
You know. I'm like, okay, fine. And funny enough, the minute I found out I was pregnant, I remembered my father's words. Nitakata tumbo. I was so scared. I actually wanted to unalive myself. I swear to God.
Really?
I swear.
Instead of even thinking about unaliving the baby, like
you're
like, kacha niende mimi.
You know, we've also been raised by knowing abortion is a sin.
That's
right.
I grew up knowing that Mimi, I would rather like I can't abort.
Abortion is a big sin.
Like having premarital sex was not a sin, but abortion is
a
sin.
That's the thing. Premarital is a sin, but unafanya kisiri. Bora usipate hiyo nini like and ukipata you can't.
Unaweza kufanya abortion kisiri pia.
Sasa
your time like
one thing for sure, we did not have exposure. So Mimi, I grew up knowing abortion is a sin. God would never forgive me for that, you know. So was it ever an option? It was not. So abortion was not an option. I had never even thought about it. So maybe the first thing I found out, and I think I only told my baby daddy this, and I was like, I don't think I can go back to the same house, or rather I can be alive knowing my folks knowing that I'm pregnant, you know. So, first week in Asia, I'm like, I'm not ready to tell them. Second, I'm not ready to tell them. Because I don't unamwambia nini.
Yeah, for the same time, unajua, this is weird, but like, not weird, but like, the thought of unaliving yourself, si ati ni kitu sasa una feel na unafanya. That's also a hard thing. Like, si ati unasema najua leo na nafanya leo.
Yeah.
Viewers' discretion, like, that topic can be sensitive, but yeah.
So, I think now 5 weeks later nikawambia. Now I told them right after I'd finished the semester exams. So now I'm home. Sina option. Because sasa uko home. they're going to notice you
like ball in a grow set in a hidden.
And then they're going to notice, because me I didn't care. I used to cry because I don't have apples. Nimeenda student center nimekosa apples and I'd cry. So of course nitaenda home ni realize wamepika githeri nianze kujua so I'm like, hey, who will eat aniseti? So that night I went and I sat them down and they like tea, so I made tea for them just out of the willingness, the goodness of my heart. They should have known something is up from that minute. And then I started apologizing for everything I had done since. Anytime my conscience would come, and I was like, I just wanted to say that I'm sorry. Ile siku nilivunja jag, I'm sorry. Nini. And then I finished with, alafu pia nilikuwa nataka kuambia niko pole, niko na mimba.
Alafu nangoja sasa we hold.
Alafu is when it hit me, I was like, nani aliniambia nipeleke hiyo chai? Because at that moment
ningepongwa
pombe. So nilikuwa nimekaa mbali. They were like over there, I'm here. I'm like, you know ukikuja na mimi, niko ready, you know. There was like pin drop silence. And then my father went, who is the father? And I told him. And then he was like, huyu mmoja mwenye nimekuwa nikikukataza. And I was like, guy. I was like, yeah.
It's him.
Huyo tu mmoja. And I was like, okay. And then I think they told me to go and sleep or something. No, there was a whole lecture. One thing about my folks, they will give you lectures. Them and their words. Them and their words, sio kidogo. So there was a lecture, and then I honestly don't remember much after that. But I remember that's also the night I told my sister. So I told my sister first, and then I was like, so niko na ball, na naenda kuambia the folks, and I might not come back alive. So I need you to text my baby daddy and tell him that I'm going to break the news in case because I could make it, but that was dead serious. I was like, if I don't make it, let him know. Yeah. I was so sure I was gonna die.
It's crazy your threats.
You know? Yeah, I was so sure I was going to die. I honestly don't remember the lecture much. I think it was that moment that ikishatoka kwa mdomo, that is what I remembered. And now the whole pregnancy journey. It was not easy. Kuna time my mother woke up one day and then she was like, nikirudi hapa jioni sitaki kukupata hapa. And I'm like, bro,
nienda wapi?
Chill. What have I done? Like, I literally just woke up that day and then before she went to work, and then she said that, and I was like, okay, naenda. And in my mind, I was like, Stoki, just naenda.
Yeah.
I'm Stoki.
Like, nipate tu.
Stoki, just do. And then I think we also raised with a lot of, we were African parents had a lot of kufunikia, you know. So, iyo tayari, I got a lot of nimawaeka, ibu, you know.
Yeah, they really cared about what people thought.
Yeah. So, I think that this will always be funny. There was this time now, I think it was still around the same month that she told me nisirudi kwa nyumba yake. The first one I think she told me, and then I decided, jusa naenda, utanipata tu hapa. Jusa kuna kwenye naenda. So this time, I used to go to church for early mass, and then I think that was the only place I felt safest to just go and cry. Mimi nasikuwa naenda church kuomba. Kwanza the first few months, I think I'll just go and cry. Because I was like, hizi ni gani? You know, I would cry throughout the whole mass, and then unajua ni first mass, so very few people know you. Unakaa huko nyuma, hakuna mtu anakujua. You're scared, you're feeling embarrassed. There's so much going on. So, your time, now the whole family used to go for third mass. I think ilikuwa third mass. At this point, I am so done with my baby daddy. Nimechoka, nasikia nimefika mwisho. So they went for mass. I went for mass, came back, they left. So that day, after they left, mi nikaenda kwa baby daddy, and I'd gone to break up with him because I felt like he wasn't doing much. At that point, we had already discussed saving up for the hospital, because one thing I really wanted was, you know how you were saying about men, ikifika mahali watakukumbusha they did things for you. I never wanted my folks to remind me that they walinilipia, you know. So we had already talked with my baby daddy, tukadecide tutaanza kulipa kidogo kwa hosi. And then we had also talked about, so my blood group is O negative. his was, I think, AB positive, which means obviously kuna hiyo agglutination. So there was an injection I was supposed to get before and after. Sindano ni how much? 6K. So we also needed to get that as well. He was not doing anything. Sioni any contributions, sioni nini. I am frustrated at home. Watu watapika tu kenye wanataka kupika hata kama huwezi kula.
Wewe na
You can deal with the pregnancy craving.
Cry. They don't care about.
There was also that. There was the shame of I cannot afford to have cravings.
Yes.
You know.
Like how am I
cannot.
even ati saying nataka a particular thing yet niko na mimba kwa nyumba ya mzazi.
Exactly. Oh my God, there was so much with that. So that day nimeenda nimeachana baby daddy, me I can't, nimechoka because you're not doing anything. And of course I'm insist that tuwezi achana juu sana nini. I'm like, bro, ufanye kitu, mimi niko frustrated. I'm not seeing any commitment on your end. So I was leaving his place and I met my younger sister mwenye amenifuata, and it was just because they knew where my baby daddy lived, so it was just outside his place, and we patanad, nimetoka amefika, and then she was like, mama amesema ukae huko usirudi, ukae huko kwenye umetoka na usirudi.
Small sisters,
what? You know? And I was like, wait, what? Yeah, and I think at that opportunity, at that point, my mother was like, finally, nimepata nje, utajua na ujui, kaa huko nje. So sirudi home, nimeambiwa nisirudi kwa nyumba. I actually went and checked, nikapata kuna mtu amesha lock mlango. So I think they left. Yeah. So there's no one at home. Narudi nyuma, I'm like, chill, nimetoka kwa tano msee. So nadu. So eventually I just went back and I'm like,
nimefungiwa.
No, mtoi ni wako. So sijui unafanya nini. And at that time he was living there, but he was also living with his brother in Huruma. Brother anaishi kwa single room. So mimi nikamwambia itabidi just have to do. Hakuna kitu tunafanya, to do.
I'm your responsibility now.
Responsibility. So tukaenda naye that night. We went to Huruma. I think first we were there for like 3 or 4 nights.
Yeah.
And then, was it 3 or 4, 2 or 3? No, 3 or 4 nights. I think now that is when my mother realized, wait, umse arudi.
Yeah.
So akanitumania wa mama wa kijiji. So kutumana, mi kwani niko huko, mi siko huko.
Yeah,
So they went and found my baby daddy's mother. Wamempata hapo kwa mlango. And then I remember she told me they found her amelala kwa kiti. And they said in Kikuyu, abu nini vile amelala kwa wenye hata ana adabu. So I think they thought it was me. Yeah. And I was like, so she was giving
I can imagine the woman. Ako gai, nyumba ni yangu. She was catching strays.
So later then she calls me and then she's like, so vimo no kuniambia umefukuzwa hata ungekuja tuongee nini. I'm like, but in my mind I'm like, this is not your problem.
Yeah.
This is your son's problem. Hisi shida yako. I'm not, alafu pia unajua na imagine their neighbors, si tumelelewana kufunika mambo ya familia. So of course I'm imagining, I do not want her imagining that Mama Sophia amefukuza mtoto wake. You know, this is a problem between me and my baby daddy and now my mother. So she calls me and then she's like, urudi. Mama amekuja wamesema sijua nakutafuta nini. So I came back and I found my mother in the kitchen. I think she was doing dishes. The door was open, so mimi nikaingia and she saw me and then she was like, oh, merudi? Ebu ulikuwa unatafuta na huyo uncle yako, ebu mtafute. I have so many uncles, so I didn't know. And I was like, that was the first one. She didn't even tell me hi. She didn't even
miss na mbona
nothing. I miss. Hey, those are what you know.
Like how African parents show
affection. Love, not by one
video nyingine ati ukitaka kujua ati how African parents say I love you, umeka kwa room anakuja nafungua room anakupa nguo mpya. Shika.
Even though I apologize pia. Surely.
Sometimes unatupa tu nguo.
Ati ndio nakupenda ujue.
So I was like, okay, Uncle Gani. Yeah, and then she tells me and then I'm like, okay. Let me reach out. So I reached out to him. He was working at Safaricom at the time. Apparently he had a gig. So that is the first time I actually experienced pregnancy in its full bloom. Nilikuwa second trimester. And the job was ilikuwa data entry. So the quicker you ingiza data, ilikuwa ya credit cards.
Yeah.
So the faster you do it, we were working in pairs. Huyu anasoma, huyu anatype. Huyu anasoma, huyu anatype. Now at that point, because I reported the next day. At that point, I'm working with this guy. Now this partner that I've been allocated with. And I start dozing off. Kwani me, I think it's pregnancy. In my mind, alafu unajua for someone who's been talked down on, because that's what our parents used to do. You get to talk down on yourself for so many times.
That's true.
So mimi nilikuwa naona nazima najiambia vile niko lazy. I can't even work. I swear to God. So hatukumaliza kazi. So that day napata barua na watu wa Safaricom, they're like, please don't come tomorrow. And I'm like,
na explain
I met my uncle that day hapo chini kwa parking. It's my first day. Nimerudi. Nimetoka kufukuzwa. I'm pregnant. I haven't even told him that I'm pregnant, but I think I'm sure ashaambiwa. And I remember just crying. Oh my God, I cried. What?
Because unaona ni fault yako.
In my mind I'm like, bro, cheki. You can't even ata credit mekushinda. You know. He didn't say anything, and I will always appreciate that for him, because manze unaimagine I'm sure angeongeza kitu
angekunini when you're down.
Ingekuwa story ingine altogether. But he just held me and I just finished crying, and then akaniambia it's okay. Wefanya aje kesho come. And I was like, oh, okay. Sawa. But I went home, I beat myself up for so long. You know, I didn't even tell my folks. Mimi niliamka the next day and nikarudi job. So I wasn't even doing anything. I think he was just consoling me. I wasn't even doing anything. But that's when I also learned, because kulikuwa na watu wa customer service. So wakaanza kunifunza customer service, how they talk to people. So kazi yangu ilikuwa kurudilia mistakes zao wengine wale wa data entry. And I was like, you know what, this is way better than kama ungeniambia nibaki home. Because yenyewe manzani ingekuwa story ingine. You know? So at that moment, I was like, I don't know what is happening. No one has explained pregnancy. Everyone is angry.
You don't know what symptoms. You don't.
Oh, that's it's your first time.
Yeah.
And the one person who can tell you is still very angry. Anangoja opportunity nyingine akufukuze.
Like akwambia. Anangoja tu ukiwa nje. Kwanza funga mlango.
My big brother bado alikuwa anatoka, alikuwa like, udeba alikuwa serious. Ataenda naende, you know. And then again, I think also she was very mindful about how she appears.
Yeah,
To the
that was a big thing.
It was a big thing, you know.
It's a very big thing to them.
So eventually I think your kazi ilikuwa 3 days. Ikaisha, I'm realizing, okay, I need to do something. So I got another gig someone was cooking. So mimi nilikuwa napeleka food na sasa mimi kazi yangu ni kutransport chakula. So I was 7 months pregnant at the time, and Hash was 7 months postpartum. So yeye anapikia kwa nyumba na mimi na safirisha food. I was tired all the time. Alafu sasa makosa ni hiyo ndo kulikuwa na time kulikuwa na outbreak ya cholera. Sijui kuna kumbuka hiyo time kulikuwa na outbreak. There was a time kulikuwa na outbreak ya cholera. So of course cholera in food aziendana. But do I care? I need the money.
Yeah.
You know? Mi akili yangu inaniambia hii don't utabuy food, and utabuy nguo na medical bill. Because I had even talked to the guys in the hospital. I'd be like, am I allowed to pay in deposits? Yeah, for as long as, you know, they were very nice.
Nice.
So mimi huyo napeleka chakula. I hustled that day. Usiku hadi tukapika chapo. Tulipika over 200 chapatis with this lady. Kafika home. Because I ignored calls. That was the first time I actually told my mother no. It's funny how I remember that. It's the first time I told my mother. Because she called me during the day and she was like, uko wapi? Kwa kazi. Ebu kuja haraka. And like, no. Nilisema no, nikasikia ni kama, you see all these videos, how you see, I saw my body outside.
Yeah, is that
so
scene?
Because
Yeah.
did you just tell your mother no? I told her no, and I was like, sheesh. I did that.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Like kusema.
Bro, at this point, I think, I was a month to turn in 20, because it's July, I think. So, I told her no, na nikakata simu, na sikushika simu at all. Mimi nikafanya kazi, because I need the money. You know, at the end of the day, I think, funny enough, I was telling myself, nishajua sitegemei baby daddy. He's not doing anything at this point, you know. Nishajua simtegemei, but it's funny how he was also very much there emotionally. Because at that point, I needed it. ningekuwa nimechizi. At that point he was very much there emotionally in as much as hakukuwa na financial nini. So mimi nikaamua, you know what mimi nijitafutie.
Really, that would even piss me off.
But that's more. Imagine, you know, getting
but
emotional support.
But it's better.
No,
like
it's
emotional
not.
support is huge. Like when
I feel like, you know, when your financial situation is what was really making you emotional, or was it not? Because you're not having money, even
was
like
making me more emotional.
And then not having
money.
Alikuwa
mdogo, maybe pia hana hiyo uwezo.
Yeye akona mimba and she's hustling. Yeye hana mimba, why is he not hustling? That's what I'm telling you, that would have pissed me more off. Because why are you telling me mimi niko emotional, nafukuzwa nyumba, home watu wamenikasirikia, I'm pregnant with your child, and you're just there giving me emotional support. While I'm hustling. That's what I'm saying, that would have pissed me off.
Right.
I don't want your emotional support.
Nenda
ka hustle,
you know?
Because how comes mimi mwenye imba ndo na hustle and then you're not doing anything?
Yeah. And that was the first night sasa nakumbuka I told my mother no. And nimeenda nyumbani nimeingiza baridi. What? I was anxious as hell. And if we got to the house and they sit me down lecture kama kawaida. And now they told me to quit the job. Yeah. Now they told me to mara siji cholera nini. And now they gave me another job that was paying 1,000 more than that. And I don't know. I think eventually nilikuja kuona I was being, what's the word? Would I call it? I won't call it manipulated. I just don't know. Because eventually when someone else got that job, they were being paid 5 times more.
Oh.
Yeah. So
something I was being
paid 6 Gs, kuna mtu alikuwa alipwa 30. I swear. So
yani na wendo uko na ball, you need the 30 Gs.
No, but now umewaibisha. What do you mean uko na ball? They don't care about that. Umewaibisha, you know. But at that point, that 6 Gs went a long way. I think akili yangu tu ilikuwa ya
like your parents ndo amekupatia hizi gigs wakijua hii job ni worth the amount.
Imagine. And then you get a job worth 6 Gs. But now I came to realize later. So at that point, I'm like, I think ilikuwa to breadcrumbing, by the way. I'm just taking the small pieces I'm getting. Because at this point, manze, I felt like I was also owing them so much. Niko kwao, niko na ball, nakula food yao. You get? Even the steps I was taking in that house felt like a privilege.
Eggshells.
I was on eggshells every single day. You know, my siblings are also very much pissed because unajua pia they are that age where they're just monkey see, monkey do. So folks are pissed, even us were pissed at you. There was a day I even sent my sibling to get me something, my younger sibling, and then she was like, "Mi no nikutuma uende upate mimba." And this was after I'd gotten pregnant. And this was also after there was a time me and my sister got into a fight, and my child had already been born, and my father was like, again he brought up the word malaya. Umeenda ukarukaruka huko nje ukakuwa malaya ukatuletea mtoto tena kwa nyumba. So yeah, you know, but this time, by the way, this was not shocking me.
Yeah.
Nisha grow immune to kuchapwa.
But you grow immune is so wrong. Like,
you know,
oh my gosh.
Like, so at this point, I don't mean I'm like, bruv. At this point, I just
come up with something new.
Tell me something new.
Tell me something I don't know.
You know. But I think there was just so much. I think this just goes back again to communication. For them, they thought this is how, you know, this is how you stop
get to you.
This is how you stop. But now, mtoi ashazaliwa, why are you still calling me a malaya?
No.
Hiyo imesaidia nini? Mtoi hatarudi.
So uliweza kupata enough kujitoa hosi ile kukaa hosi.
Did I? Oh my God. You know, one thing was I walked. I used to walk like more than 10K steps a day. Kwenda job kurudi, right? Because one time unaogopa kupewa ride.
Tuambiwe,
you know, alafu utaki lecture. So what tembea. So I was walking a lot to work and back. So mimi nilikuwa najua ndapata mtoi normal. At that point, hiyo time I think normal ilikuwa 20 Gs. Sijafika hosi naambiwa your school due day, not even due, it was past. Naambiwa kidogo mtoi my bazoo alikuwa amelala across the tummy. So there was no way I could have done normal. Mimi huona CS. Niko na pesa ya CS. CS kwanza was like 60. I'm like,
hiyo ni 40 tena juu.
Natoa wapi? I was pissed.
Honestly, you are living like the worst nightmare of an African household as a girl.
Was your mom with you at the hospital?
She dropped me off. And then she dropped me off. And then she was like, so your father wishes you the best? Yeah, I wish you the best. You'd be good. I'm like, yeah. Because honestly, later survive na yeye hapo.
Like uko in labor, uko at least umekuwa.
Funny enough, I never had labor pains. So they've induced me walini-induce vile nilifika. But even so, because Bazu was supposed to come on December 25th.
Yeah.
So vile hakukuja nikaambiwa asipowe kuja 27th. So I went on 27th, daktari akafilituma akaniambia disengage, we can admit you now. So I think pia I feel the tummy wrong. So that is when my mother was like, okay, so your father wishes you the best, you'll be fine. All is well, tunakuombea. And she left.
Oh my
God. But funny enough, when she told me your father wishes you the best, I cried. What? Because that was the first good thing I had heard from that man throughout the pregnancy.
And you didn't even hear from him directly.
And you didn't even hear like me.
I didn't makeup.
I didn't hear
maybe.
You know, I didn't hear it from him directly. Nililia, and then I just texted my baby daddy. I'm like, Niko hosi, this is like at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Niko hosi, nini, ako like, sawa, wacha nitoke job, nakam. So I got admitted, nika induce ile ya kwanza ya huku ndani, the tablet. Nothing happened. Hours later, nothing. Nika-induce ile ya nini, nothing. So the doc is like a chill. Wezi kwa tumekuinduce twice and you're still not getting labor pains. So ndio wakafanya scan, wakapata the whole nini. So the doc is like, no, you have to do a CS. And we panic. I'm like, baby daddy is still not here. This is like at 2. Bado wako njiani
anakam. Sasa nikushua to address yes ni
and you're just
like you're 19 uko peke yako.
Now this point I've turned 20 because it's December. But I'm like, I still don't know much.
Yeah.
And we panic kwanza.
Come in my big age of 25, yes.
You know. Kapigia my mother, I'm like, bro, check you. Yes. She was like, nataka tu pesa. Wacha nikuja. Alikuja na leso. And she's like, show me that scan. Now she's shown. And my son was literally, across mikono, lied across, no pressure. This boy was not even ready to leave. Like, he was not even ready to leave. So at that point, bado baby daddy hajafika ujue. This is like going to 3.
Yeah. Kwani anatoka job wapi?
At this point I even stopped calling. So mimi nikaanza tu kumtext, naingia theater, naenda wapi? I stopped. At this point I just stopped. So
by the way nani mali uko what?
At this point I didn't even shop. So akauliza who needs to do the signing nini. My mother akasign the consent forms and nikaingia theater. Ningia theater I think 3:30. Bazu was born at 3:42, and then somewhere in between there I think that is when my baby daddy arrived. But nikiingia theater kwa amefika. So amekatua hapo, nilikuwa naambiwa na my sister amekatua hapo, amenyemelea na katu mtu akinyeshewa. Like he was doing nothing. From 10, where have you been?
Na umekuja na pesa kwanza ama alikuja hivyo?
Pesa gani? Let me tell you. I think I think at this point it is important to mention that I am a single parent. Yes. I'm a single parent. But that by the funny enough, that was the last time aliona mtoi. Like,
really?
Really?
Yeah.
He's never come again to want to be in the child's life.
Alikuja like 5 years later, akisema vile he's a better man.
Wait, is it vitu unachonaga kama mimi?
No. Oh my God.
5 freaking years later.
That was last time, like, he was traveling to Nakuru for a job, nini, and we had agreed, we were still very much in a relationship, and we had agreed...
You're 5 years? Your time.
Okay. So he was traveling on fast. So tuka-agree, salo iko inakam, because sitaki kutegemea wazazi pia. We tuma za diaper, we tuma za clinic, nikiwa niko sawa. Kwani alikuwa natuma? Because his salary at the time was 20 Gs. So akambu after 3 months, itaongezwa ikuwe 40. So he was not sending. Because there was a certain Sunday I called him. I'm like, hey, wako kelele, kwani uko wapi? Niko Tao. Tao ya Nakuru, hapana, Tao. Nimetoka Ronga. Wait, umetoka home? Kuona watu wenyu? Na ukashinda kupitia kuona mtoto wako? Wow. Okay. hapo ndo sasa dots zilikuwa zinaanza kujijoin pole pole, slowly by slowly, I know, but back to parenting.
That is parenting.
That is parenting. But yes happened. Narudi nyumbani sasa tu narudi. I think this was just, for some reason it just felt like a sick joke that God was playing, because at that point I'm like, manze, I've been praying to this God to give me money so I can sustain myself, nijilipia delivery, alafu unafanya nifanye CS at 60k. You just know obviously your folks are going to be paying for it,
and that's what you were even avoiding in the first place.
Yeah. But I think that was pregnancy journey for me. Ilikuwa tough and vibaya tena sana.
But now we've moved on. The kid is like 8 years old
now. Anampenda, like
he's their best friend. He has
yani huyo mtoto mwenye alisema watakata
ndio
huyo wako.
Yeah, they normally like that.
Saying wanamwanga besties vibaya tena sana, which is crazy. Like sometimes I just look back at things and I'm like, man,
I feel like this whole topic is gonna change into like parenting in an African household, or like being, cause gosh.
Imagine. But I think the mimi years later najiambianga, for as long as my son is fine, mi niko sawa. You guys can scam me up as much as you want. I think but for as long as that child is fine. Because I am such what do you call it? I'm a mama bear. Me nayo, I will pounce on anyone and anything comes at that boy. You know. So I think pia kuzoea kupigwa, kuzoea the emotional, whatever. You get used to whatever else your life wants to hit at you. For as long as you don't hit my child, you don't come at that boy. I mean,
are you hitting your child when it comes to discipline?
Man, niliacha.
You used to?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I think ile age ya between 3 to maybe 5. And eventually I realized I'm not... Actually, that is one of the things I had written down of things we are not taking to the next generation.
Yes.
Because there are times unampiga but then unarealize, ebu ngoja.
Am I doing what my parents were doing?
Like I'm just... Mimi nilikuwa nampiga kwanza. There were days nilikuwa namchapa na kumbuka kwanza babake na choka namchapa zaidi. Yeah. It took si ati nilikuwa nampiga vibaya.
But
ile unampiga but hata ufikiri mtoi, unafikiria kwanza
una punish
kwanza. You're punishing the kid for makosa za an absent parent. And it took therapy for me to realize that was wrong. And I'm glad I stopped. Because mimi makosa kidogo, we wanted to talk. Natuwa tuna communicate na mtu hii. Makosa kidogo umefanya kuja hapa, kislippers ama belt ama kitu, And right now we talk. And one thing I want to take to his house if he decides to have a family is learning how to apologize. Something we did not get.
Yeah, we did not.
Learning how to, because Mimi, I'm always the first to apologize in that house.
Yeah.
And I think it's good because he's learning also how to apologize for things. And sometimes he apologizes for things that are not even, unapata, something has happened, maybe here and I watch, ako sitting, mi napika, kakitu kaanguke, and then you hear, sorry, and you're like, thank you. So definitely learning how to apologize.
The African parents never used to
apologize.
I remember when after my dad would beat us for making a mistake, me and my sister, he will just come and be like, okay, get dressed, let's go to the beach. And you'll just know
that's the apology.
That's the apology.
Oh my gosh. The dad will be kununua nguo pia. Like ameenda mahali
followed by a lecture. Unajua sasa ukifanya hivi.
Bado unaugua hiyo nini? Ndio unalia sasa, unaongeza emotional damage.
Oh my goodness. Wow. But African households have done a number on on us, especially our age, this generation
of ours.
There's a lot that we are breaking ties.
I'm glad you're breaking those cycles, honestly. Like,
as we should, because I feel like parenting changes according to the generation.
It does.
I feel like even when our kids get to parent, they're also going to break some cycles from us.
Exactly.
They're going to
Definitely.
and be like, you know, our mom used to do this and this and that.
And I'm like, I'm not doing that.
It's like each generation requires a different type of parenting. You
does.
cannot use the same when people are so different right now. You know, kids are so outspoken right now.
Which
they
is
don't
good.
fear stuff like the way we used to get scared easily. They don't get scared easily.
Like ukiambiwa kitu unabaki like,
me, I scold my son and I'm telling you he's 5 years old, and when I'm scolding him and ananiangalia and I lock in eyes with me. So baka mimi mwenyewe na scold
unashtuka wewe ndio unataka kugwala
mimi na kuscold like ana lock in eyes shy away ati sijui niko na mistake. No, ana lock in eyes with me like unanisomea lesson. Hazingine pale ananiambia anakuja like, mama, why did you shout at me? You didn't have to shout at me. You could have just told me and I would have listened and understood. Shouting was unnecessary. Hata mtoto anakuambia hivyo. Shouting was unnecessary. Baka mwenyewe unakaa uko na realize
like why was that?
Why did I even shout?
What I'm starting to realize like I turn to, like, I feel like below 2, that's not parenting. That's literally taking care of a human. But say when anaanza kuform like characters, it's becoming harder in a different aspect of like how do you parent now this child mwenye say of bado hana ati opinions but anasema kitu anataka na kitu hataki na unaona like characters like kama yo kuhit or like kunini and I'm like, oh my goodness, like this is where parenting actually starts.
I know. Because they do all that but still I feel like they still don't have that level of comprehension. So like how do we even discipline? Because unamchapa unasikia vibaya because like when I hit my 2-year-old is like he doesn't even understand.
Like why did I do that?
Na kuna makosa. Like
how do I not be
every time I just look at her I'm like, I just hope you grow up so that we can reach a point where akikuchapa unaelewa unachapiwa nini unaelewa. Because right now it's just confusing. It's just like a 2-year-old. Kama vile umeona katika video like mimi namwambia like I'm gonna slap you naye ananiambia I'm gonna I wouldn't take that from my 5-year-old.
Because now you're old enough.
But now since he's 2, he can't even say those words properly. So unakabaki tu anaona ni kama ni a game or something.
That's the same thing with K. Najaribu ati kumfanyia hivi. Yeye pia sasa ndo
anakuja na kuchapa.
Na niko aki huelewi ni nini hata na but you are bad. I don't want you to be hitting people like na kuelezeaje.
Ukimsomea na anakusomea back ana point mpaka hivi anafanya because they're just copying what you're doing.
And I'm just trying to be a better parent honestly. Like I'm trying to have a better relationship. I don't want that fear thing. I don't want to have to hit. Like I'm sure there are better ways kayo ku communicate and also communicate in a better way. You know, see ati kitu ina pierce roho yako unashanga what is this? Why are you calling me a malaya? Like why? I'm your child.
Yeah, and calling calling your kids.
That's
name
wrong.
Calling your kids malaya, stupid, like
it stays with them.
Like
and I think in a nini on their confidence and then you realize as an adult you have to take years to unlearn or like undo what you've been told growing up, including your like your self-esteem. Hata hii kuchongwana, you posted something on our page about like not insulting but
talking bad about our kids to other people. You know how like some parents do that.
Even to the aunties like no like kuna hiyo kufunikia, yes, that was there like covering the shame, but there's also like there's no need kwenda kuongelea mtoto wako in a certain way to
like, you know,
like him
shule anapigia kila siku ni mjinga sijui perform like
what
telling people and the kid is there,
you know.
This kid will grow knowing ako mjinga. Because if my mother says it, who else?
And another thing that I'm doing differently with my kids, if I see they did a mistake and they're playing with other kids, I don't punish him in front of the other kids. Because I want to punish and rectify. I don't want to embarrass him.
That's the
we need to differentiate that. So I call him separately. Nenda namchapa kwa bedroom. Mwambia malize kulia and then he knows like the mistake is that I don't want to embarrass him in front of him because you know the other kids will always be making fun of him. Like they'll always be making, oh, your mom did this, your mom did that. So I don't want that in front of the kids. So I take him away, I tell him the mistake kama ni ya kuchapa and we deal with it and then he goes back. But I never do it in front of his friends.
Right.
Because I know right now he's old enough and he knows embarrassment.
Yeah.
Because every time, even when he's dressing up, he'll tell me, Mama, this is not a cool outfit. Because he knows what's apparently what's cool. 5-year-olds have their own cool, you know. So I'm like, it's okay, dress what's cool. Because I'm not a 5-year-old, I don't know what's cool. Cool, what's cool? Listening to your kids is also something else. We really need to be listening to them. Sometimes you really like, you're just a kid, or you're just my son. I'm the mom.
You're opinions,
feelings.
It's so bad.
It's very bad. We really need to take account to that. That's one of the things that we also have to change.
You can also tell us in the comments the things you want to change as well, and also other things that you got that are good from your parents, like despite all the trauma or like all the things we're unlearning, or like are there maybe values that you're now raising your kids with?
I think the value is just respect. I think from that fear, you just learn to respect.
There's also a line between fear and respect, but respect
it's a very, very thin line, especially when it comes to parenthood, because of this, as long as you want them to be free with you, as long as you want them to do what they want, you also need to let them know that I'm the mom. Sometimes when I tell my kid to do something and they ask why, I don't give them a reason. I just tell them because I'm the mom and I said so. Sometimes I just need him to realize it's needed. Sometimes I do explain, but sometimes he just needs to know, Mama said this and that's it, because you're 5 years old.
At the end of the day, you're like,
I need to like give you a long explanation. I told you to do this, Mama said so.
You're like, you're like their shepherd. Like, you can't also let them stray. Like, how do you differentiate between now disciplining them into like the right direction, or like letting them still be vocal? Bila wao kushow, disrespect. Like,
it just goes with age, I think, know. The older they get, the different... Your parenting at 5 years old cannot be the way you parent a 15-year-old or a 2-year-old. It just changes, just like we said, when we parent our 2-year-old right now. It's different than the 5. It's just according to their age, you just go. With their age, you change with their age. And I think that's just how it is. And there's only... most we can do as parents, This just we cannot do like a lot, like especially wakishakuwa hit puberty and they become old enough, like the way the Utumishi girls went, and then they they lit the fire in the schools. There's only much we can do as parents. Sometimes you just do your best and you don't know.
Shule. Like, because of course utalelea mtoto in an environment hata ya kanisa, in like a loving home. Sasa wakienda shule, what like ni nini inawahold, what values unaweka yenye inawahold. Mtu anasema ati wewe siwezi choma shule because your brain wewe mwenye anasema acha nichome watu ndani, na mwingine anasema hawezi. Like, what's the
differentiator? So you never know. You can just do as much as you can as a parent.
Do your best.
You just do your best, and you just hope your kids turn out the best. I
also
guess.
Be a good person as well. Like, there was a child alikuwa around like 5. Mtoto ana click, sijaona mtoto akiclick hivyo sana. And I was just wondering, like, mtoto ana learn wapi ku click? Ako like 4 or 5. Like, why are you clicking? Mtu akasirisha ako alafu nikienda kuuliza sasa Mainani, of course Mainani anajuanga, inakuwa like the parent also like clicks so much at the nini, so kids also like emulate
what the child
they do.
Ana emulate hata venye mnaongeleshana in the house, like venye unatreat hata watu outside, not even in the house, even how you treat anyone outside na wako na wewe, that's also creates their behavior, or like the values they have, so just be the person you want your child to be. Like, just start with yourself. Just be the best version. Because you can't preach something and you're drinking a whole different thing. Wanaona, and they're very observant.
They're very observant.
Extremely. They're like,
sometimes they'll even tell you, like, why are you telling me not to do this now?
Imagine.
So they're really observant.
They're like,
they really see what you're doing.
Fly in the wall. There's always like the walls are hearing. Those are the kids. Like, they're always gonna be listening. I don't want my child to like maybe drink soda. So nikikunywa soda hapo mbele yake anitisha, whose fault is it? Like, what am I trying to instill?
Exactly.
Gosh.
That's true.
What? Kuna kitu tujongelea mbona umecheka?
No. It's umesema hivyo nika realize I curse a lot.
Akianza kukasa usishtuke.
Yeah. I curse a lot. Like, hey, me, I've been throwing those words. In fact, I was worried about coming here because I was like, should I be? I need to be more. I curse a lot, especially when I'm around people my age.
Yeah.
And because he tells me na piganga story vizuri. Apparently I'm a good storyteller. But I think it's also because he just loves anapenda kusikiza udaku.
Yeah.
So me and my colleagues are always pigang stories. And somewhere in the middle I just throw a word and I'd be like, sorry, bad word. So if you point and you're mom, bad word.
Yeah, they tell you.
You
Yeah,
know.
they do.
So now I'm like, hey bro, I'm saying this
Because I imagine your age.
I know.
A whole conversation.
He's like, that was a bad word. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I won't do
they
that.
tell you like, Mama, that you said a bad word.
You know?
And then sometimes I pretend like, what did you say? And they're like, I heard it. Yeah, I heard it. And I'm gaslight. He needs to learn gaslighting at a young age. I used to know how to get gaslighting. What gaslighting is. I didn't say it. I said, you said it. I heard it. You said this word. I can't say it because it's a bad word.
There's another form of parenting that sometimes chongoa mtoto wako akiwa kwa nyumba ndo akitoka huko nje like Asha, I don't know if that's good or bad. That's like another form of parenting. Like before nichongoe mi babangu ameniambia, mamangu ashaniambia hizo zote. Like I don't know.
So I think for me when you gave me this topic, I came down with things.
Selma.
You know. So number one thing I think I remember writing was, one thing we're not doing is comparing our children.
Yes, true, yeah.
You know, because especially in a household where there's siblings or even just with other children. Because even with my own sisters, we normally say we may be siblings, but we all got different parents.
True.
We all got different parents. Because I think, if I pick stories with my siblings, I can't believe some of my siblings are allowed to go out.
Yeah. What? That's a foreign concept.
Because what do you mean?
I know.
Because I started going out after I'd left home. So nyinyi mnakubalishwa. Wow.
Yeah, alikuwa na sneak. Yani si ati hata it was ever.
I remember there was one time, because me and my sisters, we have a WhatsApp group. And there was one time I was telling my youngest sisters, we have like a 13 age gap. 13 years old na mwenye anamfuata juu yake ni 10 years. Sasa wawili ndo wako hivyo, yeah. So I was telling her like how I grew up now, what I went through with our parents. They were shocked. They even apologized to me. They were like, what?
They can't believe
it's different
parents. Like, these are different people. Like, wow, they got it way, way easier. Way easier.
I think eventually wao walikuja kaona. I don't know. I would want to say probably old age made them.
Yeah. We talked about it. But like
because my dad had me when he was 23. Yeah. So at that time, that's
energy.
That energy.
Hiyo ukifanya kitu
that energy.
Alafu ukikompea na ule anapata 30.
Yeah. So
definitely.
But also comparing, I remember me, I was even being compared with my cousins. Like let's say there was a cousin who was even like smarter than me na tuko class 8 pamoja. Huyu mwingine anaambiwa, unaona huyu amepata hii, wewe sasa umepata hii hapa. Yeye kwanza anasomea huko, wewe unasomea huko. What? Ni nini mbaya na wewe? Mbona usikweka wewe kwanza utapata hiyo mimba? Like what? And those are aunties,
right?
Like unashanga, like we're not the same, we're not like person, you know. So
comparing is also very bad. The next one
would forcing our children to say hi to our friends.
Oh, and relatives also.
Even hugging. Why?
Because eventually, I think I remember the first time one of, I wouldn't call him my father's friend, but he was one of the people who knew my family. Katiad me, and it was such a young age. I was like in my teens. Akaniambia vile tunyonyo twako tunakaa vizuri. And I'd be like,
files everywhere.
You know? And I'd be like, hold the phone, because what do you mean? What is that? Nilikuwa nimetoka kwa duka. I ran so fast. And I never told my folks yes, but
it's stuck with you.
Yeah, we talked. I remember us talking to. I either talked about it with my sisters or with my friends. Because I'm only baba mbaya. Because why would you do that?
Yeah.
You know. So now, I would imagine if it ever got serious. Si hata kuja kusema si unanikubalishanga ni hug mtoto wako.
Like you know umepea nini over your child.
You know, like say hi, give him your hand.
Why?
That's your uncle. Like, you know,
give them a hug. That is something I refuse. As young as kake hataki achana force. Kwanza with the elder generation anakuanga mbona mtoto wako hataki kusema hataki, like that's it.
Hataki.
Why are you forcing?
Mbona unataka mtoto
like
salimie kwa hewa.
Unataka kuhug wewe ni mamake. I'm sorry. Unajua mtoto aje like
I don't like that.
Yeah.
Because especially if these are my friends, they're not my son's friends.
Yeah.
You know? So unainsist kusalimia mtoto wangu alafu unajua right now it's not like kitambo we used to be sure pedos are men. Right now it's both. Yeah. You know, it's both.
Goodness.
So don't tell me you want to hug my child now.
What? A whole woman, why are you hugging an 8-year-old, a 5-year-old?
And forcing it.
And forcing it. You don't want... Yes, he doesn't want
Oh my
God. My son has very loud body language like me. And then Mimi, something I know he takes from me is when we are in a very new space, we are very mean to people. I don't know yake kama ni mean. Me, I'm intentionally mean to people I don't know before I get nice to you because Miss Kujui, I don't know
when you protective.
It is, yes. So for him, he's very ashaika wall the minute she's met you. And then when anakuaga napeleka
and also kids, you take time with them.
Kids require more time to adjust to all of that.
And when they're young, it's up to us to be vocal and
it's for
like,
them because they can't just
like
for themselves.
Exactly.
So it's up to us to be like, no, stop. He doesn't want to stop. Because I remember one time we were in a taxi, me and the father of my kids and the taxi driver was just talking to my youngest, the 2-year-old. Kila masana hey papa, and he didn't like it. Like he would make sounds like he's crying, like, and he just kept on insisting and talking until the dad was like, okay, that's enough.
Like,
my kid doesn't want to talk to you. He doesn't like it. You can hear the sounds he's making, right? Those are not happy sounds.
Yeah.
He's not laughing. He's not like, reciprocating your talk. So just stop talking to him. And then the taxi driver just stopped.
Yeah, it's silence.
Yeah. So it's up to us because you can see that the kid was already getting uncomfortable, but haizi vocalize like I don't want to talk to this person, but he's just insisting on talking to me.
Yes,
so it's up to us to just tell them to stop.
It's crazy. I mean, I honestly would never understand a pedo's brain.
You can never because you're not one.
Castrated because
you cannot understand.
For women, I don't know mtafanywa nini like.
Yeesh. I think we talked about healing so that you don't bleed on your child.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's so powerful. So you don't bleed on your child. Like you can project on.
What?
And the worst is when they look like the dad.
Oh my God.
You know that's funny. I would die. Because why? I would die. No.
So like you have his mini version in the house
and you're done with this man.
And this man is MIA. He wants nothing to do with you.
How
and
do
the
you
kid,
heal?
but then you have this mini version.
How are you healing with a mini version of what you're trying to heal from?
I know.
It's actually funny when Bazu was born, he looked alikuwa copyright ya babake kabisa.
Akina yoma uchungu.
No, funny enough, he had not left at that time. My baby daddy left when my son was 5 months. And during the age, kids start changing faces. So his face changed. And I was like, you know what, God?
You did
Maybe you have my back after all. Because I could not have done that. I don't know what the audacity. This man left me on my mother's birthday. So, napata text bedroom. Unamanza kulia unaitwa. Twende tukakata kile. Oh my gosh. I'm like, yo.
Nimeona hizo TikTok za living with your parents, you're gonna have to prepare wash of your as if they don't.
That was it.
Happy birthday. Quite happy.
Imagine. Hey, someone nipata nikilia. Alafu I think went to my siblings never we hatujalelewa na kujuana ati why are you crying? So mimi nipata nikilia nikaamua tu na kukata keki. Mimi nikaenda kwa simu nikaosha uso. The whole time I'm just singing happy birthday. I'm like, how can I make this right? Am I the problem? Sasa mtoto kutafanya aje? Oh my god. I'm so glad this boy changed faces because I don't think I would have dealt. I would never.
Unaongeza hizo viboko acha hivyo vile unao.
It's triggering. It's very triggering. You know, when you're healing, the one thing that when you're healing is trying to remove all the triggers.
Alafu ndo
when he's the trigger, like you can't remove him.
The sweetest eyes, but
I know.
He still looks like the father.
Oh my god.
Umpige teke
Unashangaa hata sasa kuna wow. Guys, but yeah, you definitely need to heal. So you cannot beat the children. I think that goes hand in hand with your not punishing, or rather punishing your children for their absent parents.
Yeah.
Or even for households that have both parents, it's punishing your child for your partner's mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We get a lot of, it's usually done so passively when you hear, you know how we hear from African parents, ukifanya makosa mtoto ni wa mama. And your father is like, mtoto wako amepata mimba. And you're like, Jill,
you know it's even in the Bible.
It is. Like,
what does this say?
It's in the Bible about how mtoto akinini wa mama na akisucceed and make the dad
that just
proud.
says the Bible was written by men.
It's war.
It was written by men. Because
there's no way God will say such a thing.
Like how?
It doesn't make sense. Yeah, somebody like that. Yeah.
At the you realize, you find out your mind is cheating, you take it out on your kids.
I know.
And you're like, chill.
Or especially when you're having now a son, alafu you think of how men can be, unataka ku
I know. Especially. And it's so hard healing when you have a child, you know?
Yeah.
Because you're healing and you have these two kids that are there just depending on you.
Right.
You have to, like, what I realize is that you can't cry when you feel like crying. You have to, like,
schedule.
You actually have to set a schedule to cry.
You have to schedule. Kuko like, okay, says niko na watoto, says kuschedule. I will
like you're scheduling sadness.
You have to schedule your breakdowns. You have to schedule your crash outs because you can't do it when your kids are there because you know it's not fair to them.
Yeah,
you know they didn't ask for a crash out parents. You know you need to deal with your own issues.
Right.
It doesn't concern them. Why are they? They didn't break your heart. Why are they the one dealing with your crash out? You know. So you have
and you're
to
just
schedule.
also a girl.
And sometimes it wants to come out when you're with the kids because sometimes your kids can be triggering. Even if they don't even look like the dad.
They don't intend to.
You're in a situation where the kids can't trigger something and you just want to scream and cry and you can't because they're just there. Mama anataka sausage, mama anataka juice.
And you start crying and they're like, Mona Lia. And they look at your face and they're like, Mona. And you're like,
sasa naanza naanza kukwambia nini?
Takwambia aje.
You're so young.
Baba yako, shosho yangu.
Mama ya babako.
Oh my god. My therapist once told me I have both daddy and mommy issues. Oh my god, I couldn't manage to finish that rice. Nilikuwa napika mbio. I mean, but you need to eat. But you need to go to school tomorrow.
I know you have to do something.
But I don't think that's something I think people without kids would never understand. That there's really never time for even sadness.
Your own like a breakdown,
crash out.
Crash out is
yeah, because sometimes you just want to scream and crash out, breakdown. You cannot, because I've seen those videos on TikTok where a mom is crying like on the floor, crying, and then the kid is like, "Mama, open this for me," and then you're just there wiping your tears and then open, and then you like it never stops. They don't care sometimes, you know, or they're too young to comprehend. You crying, they just don't
what
understand.
Does this mean?
They just want you to open their packet of juice.
So
Oh, sawa.
You know, the adulting is not motherhood is.
Alafu sasa uongeze motherhood.
Na motherhood. Then uongeze wifing ama sijui being in a whole
Yo. At least I get to do two of those things. I am sympathizing with you guys. That just sounds like a lot, honestly. Hey, something else we're not taking. Black tax. My friend called it black tax. How parents raise their kids because they expect them to take care of them in their old age. I'm like, Chiki, ngoja. It's your job to raise me, right? So why do I have to raise you in return?
Right.
You know, kwanza there was the whole kurudisha mkono thing. I have heard it a lot, and I think we hear it, we get that. Maybe our parents don't get that as much, but their parents did that a lot.
Yeah.
There's the whole, tuliwalea, so it's
time to, and they can do it even with guilt. Like, Kenya sasa wo una feel the need to to give back like that.
I think for me, that's the one thing that I'm not facing with my parents.
Even my
though,
dad tried.
African, I think that's the one thing. I've never experienced your black tax.
Right.
As a matter of fact,
that's a blessing.
Yeah, my dad can still take care of me. Yeah. They
Because,
don't expect anything.
That's so good. I don't know, my dad, that's something he told me that he doesn't expect. That nikieza mpatia, that's out of, like, hey, unajua mali tumetoka hivyo.
I don't think even my dad will even accept.
Yeah.
My dad will not accept anything from me. Like, it has to be super major. Like, I have to prove that I'm a millionaire or a billionaire for him to accept something from me.
Give them because honestly, I don't imagine how much would you have to give them for you to eat.
I know, because Nangalia, like, situation. I know, like, for him to even accept, like, did you win the lottery? Are you a millionaire or a billionaire?
Or I tell you I need it.
For me, it's even like the opposite. Like, he's even taking, until my age right now, he's even taking care of me. Right now, as you see it, he's planning stuff with me in his mind. Like, so me, I'm not even like
that's such a
I'm glad that he just set up enough that even I have younger siblings that I'm not taking care of my siblings, because that's also part of black tax. To the parents, also taking care of like the siblings. Me, I want to raise mine just set up.
Exactly.
That Atana set up the kids to my kids.
Exactly.
Like thinking ahead
for your future generation.
Because gosh.
The other one is what? This is a very unpopular opinion, but we need to stop pressuring. Not just people, like just even our families. We need to stop pressuring them to have children, because, and very unpopular opinion, but it's true. You see the phrase "children are blessings." In as much as they are responsibility. Children are not blessings, they are responsibilities. So you are pressuring me to have...
The other thing I hate in kila mtu anakuja na sahani yake. No, mimi nasema anakuja nao but inakuja empty.
Wewe utafute Kenya utaweka hapa.
Because they feel like anakuja na sahani. No, it comes with an empty plate and we need to like...
I think ukikuwa mzazi ndio una understand. Because hata mimi personally since I became a mom, kawa utaki kuwa na mtoto, mimi siwezi kuambia
imagine
you have no, if you don't
like right now I have 2 boys. We're being told
ongeza sasa
girl. Na nikiwa na msana najua itakuwa kuna 2 boys. Na ongeza msana mwingine. Like it's never ukisikiza watu tazaa
because I'm not
na pia ukisikiza mzee wako like do what you want to do even before you have a child, like
have the amount of children that you want to have.
Don't do it because your partner anakuambia I want 8 kids now unaza 8.
Can you handle 8 kids?
If you want 1 kid nazaa kwanza before kuseme sijui watu wangapi ndio utajionea, like you some things you have to go through, because hata uambiwe kama hauna watoto you'll not understand until you then one how much of a responsibility tunasikiwezi kuata na crash out when you're having a kid.
And you're a joke. Remember how you used to write when your kids, by 25 I'll have a husband, and by 30 I was going to
alitufunza hizo vitu like
at 25.
that was me.
And I was going to have 8 kids in a Range Rover. and a man. And a man who's going to take care of these kids. My husband.
The man.
Yo, at a man say, Yuko. What do you mean? Bro, hey. Alianda. Maybe if I was a toxic parent, ningeambia mtoto wangu alikanyaga na sisi.
Tulikuwa tunasema. Aligongwa na gari huyo.
Mkate. Sasa utadu. Utasema nini?
Mbona ya mkate?
I don't know. Disrespect.
Does he ask for his dad? Does he ask like, Mama, where's my dad?
I took a step to have that conversation before he does. So what happened? The school he was at, I think this started maybe 4 years ago. Was it 4? Yeah, probably 4 years ago. So they were asked to go tell their fathers Happy Father's Day. And he went and told his grandfather. And he wrote a note to his grandfather, Happy Father's Day, nini nini. So even when he was young, we had already taught him to say, he calls his grandfather Babu. But there was a point he was calling him Baba. And so we would correct him every time. He was like, huyu ni baba yangu. So si baba yako.
Sasa kwa tu baba yangu ako ako niko anajiambia wewe. Baba yako ndo alienda. Baba yako ndo.
That is actually sick, you guys.
That's so dark. That joke.
Is so dark.
Useless, imagine.
Don't bring don't call my dad.
That's my father. That is going after you.
Ni babu yako.
Oh my gosh. What? No, I think that is when we had that conversation.
Oh my God.
That was when
yeah.
we had that conversation. I explained as far as what his age could comprehend.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, your father is still around. It's just that watu hukosana. Yeah, I told him the truth. I was like, watu hukosana saa zingine na watu wengine wakikosana wanaacha kuongeleshana, and that you know that happens.
That's what happened.
Yes.
Yeah.
So every Father's Day we had that conversation, and
wow.
I always add to remind him that my father is there to act as a father figure. No, that he's saying.
No. My father is there. Yours is not.
My father is there to act as a father figure.
Don't you forget.
Don't you forget that mine stayed. Yours didn't. No, mine is there as a father figure. Yeah. And I have so many uncles who have also taken up the role. My brother, Jachana, they're like 6 years apart. So they're also very close. And I think in as much as, yes, because I get a lot of, oh my God, nobody talks about how I get so much, my male friends are always reminding me, Sophie, even if you say you pride yourself in being a single parent, first of all, I do not pride myself. I have found myself there.
And I hate that.
I have found myself there.
Do they want you to be miserable? Situation, what do you do?
Gosh.
Sheesh. So now they always remind me, you as a woman, you cannot raise a man. And I'm like, yeah, so
see, I have uncles that
utamchukua.
Yeah, you can send
you do it.
Do you want to be the father instead?
And I'm like, bro, we only pride ourselves because we have found ourselves in that situation, and now we have to work ourselves.
And sometimes mtu ako a single parent because ametoka from a bad situation. Like it's even better that uko peke yako rather than being in a relationship, in a toxic
man.
We'll have that
conversation.
Gosh.
And it's always because every time I tell my friends I'm a single parent, because I don't, I think we all have different classifications of friends, you know. So kuna wenye unaambianga like years later that you are. Most of them, especially if we are dating or if we are close, most of them know that I'm a parent. But kuna wale wenye nyi mnapatananga tu kwa sherehe ama mnapatana wapi.
So there's no need
of them like knowing you're a parent. Exactly. And the minute they find out you're a single parent, they're like, ulidu? And I'm like,
what is that judgment with single parenting? Na wendo the parent ameka. So huyo mwenye ameenda.
Ulidu? What do you mean nilidu?
Kwani udu?
Mbona usiulize ule alidu? Like why is that never the first question? Like ule alidu?
I'm like, oh my God. I didn't do anything. He walked. I was like, labda mleta najua. I'm like, oh wow. Okay.
Sawa basi. Hata unashindwa unachoka ku.
But I honestly just get tired of that conversation. But man, there's so many things we are learning how to unlearn before we take to, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm so glad right now people are, if there's one thing I'm really glad about is that people are more aware, people are more exposed. People are, I'm not saying at the minute you get pregnant, you should just abort just because, but you have options, you know. You're more aware, you know when you're ready and when you're not ready. Sisi hatuko na hizo options, man.
Kuna safe ways.
Exactly. You have safe ways of enjoying fornication without
living with the consequences.
I know nilipeleka a friend at that age, 18-19, kwenda ku abort. And I think for me, as much as I knew abortion was a sin, hiyo ilini traumatize because I saw the remains, I had the screams. Unaona hapo ametoka na bucket imejaa sijui nini.
It used to be done
ilikuwa marriage stops. Like ilikuwa marriage stops. Like sasa ilikuwa in a different room, but sasa si unasikia the screams. Then like mali nilikuwa was just outside, so akitoka from hapo kwenda kumwaga, like unaona tu hiyo nini. Niliekewa implant hapo. Nilisema mimi acha tu, like I think nikafia sasa abortion even more than like whatever. And I was like, I'd rather protect myself. Na hiyo ndo iliniokoa hata sikukua like because that was immediately after high school. You know,
definitely after high school everyone is wanting to enjoy everything. You know,
happens.
It does happen. So something we're definitely having is we are having safe sex conversations with our kids.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
because were you guys given like a sex malaya sex talk? Me, I don't remember having.
I
don't think I was
given one.
No,
me too.
Man, there's so much to unlearn.
We're unlearning anyway, but
especially with boys, I feel like that's when the sex talk really needs to happen because it's like
because imagine
they have a different definition of sex.
Alafu unajua, I think people, the minute schools think it's safe for them to learn reproduction, then that's when it's safe to have the sex conversation.
That's true.
Yeah, because
class 6 hapo.
I think but it's class 6.
Sasa ndo sijui hiyo ndo grade 6 ama ni sijui. Ndio tulikuwa tunafunzwa reproductive system, you know.
Grade 6 is like what, 10, 12? Or 11
I don't know. I have to
hata miss system. But like now having boys, like unawafunzaje now in terms of like them not doing the same thing their dad like did to you, and like even like be unaambia hey responsibility, like gosh
my God. I think really that's a tough conversation to have because I'm not ready to go like at a be responsible.
Bad time.
You know. Like, but I definitely want to be the mom with condoms full in the house.
With what?
Condoms in the house after we have the sex conversation. Like,
do you think that's encouraging him to have sex, having condoms in the house?
It is not encouraging per se. It is encouraging safe sex. The minute we've had that conversation, condoms iko pale. Because one thing for sure, people are having sex. Whether we want to accept it or not. Teenagers are having sex. So now that we've accepted that conversation, how can we deal with it? You know, me I think, because I can't imagine akiruka mimba.
Usikuwe kama babako. Hiyo ndo tukunakuwa naye.
I think I would be too guilty to hata mimi ndo ndale huyo mtoto. I would imagine
like the girl, because you see her in yourself.
It's the same situation you are in.
I won't do that. But it's definitely we are not encouraging children to have sex, but it's
we're not
fact.
telling them tutawakata tumbo like nini or like tutawa
know, and it's also the fact that guys are actually having sex. So what are we doing?
So regardless if we accept it or not, they're going to have
to have sex.
So we might as well do something about it and prevent
and have education around it
and stuff like that. Yeah, definitely.
So that was our very in-depth conversation on parenting, and we've come to the end of it. We hope you've enjoyed it. Please contribute in the comments what your thoughts are. But all in all, you've been with me, Linda,
Latifa, and
Sophie.
So bye. Make sure to subscribe, like, comment.
Hit the bell.
Yes, do it all. Bye-bye.
Bye.